Okay, we're moving on very quickly. I'm going to end soon. I've got Flava in the building. Hi, Flava.
Hi, Auntie B. I'm the one that requested your link because I was trying to find out to get in.
Okay, you're here.
Yeah, I'm one of the people that listens to you in the background. I don't
Mhm.
actually ever call it. This is my first time calling in, and
Okay.
I'm just calling regarding this DV situation. It's very sad. By the way, so just to let you know, I'm not from Angola, but I'm a big fan of yours. I mean, I'm not from Nigeria, I'm from Angola, but I'm very, very big fan of yours. I really like your topics.
Thank
Um,
you.
this one, this one, it hit home because that woman there reminds me of my mom.
Hmm.
It reminds me of my mom, and she's a good person. She's a good person, but again, married my dad, and my dad is what you call, God forgive me, but Mango Park. There we go. She went through that for many years. She went through that for many years, and she ended up having 7 of us with my dad. So as we're growing up now, we ask her like, what possessed you to have all of us with this one person? Her answer is always like, oh, I didn't want to have kids with different, different men. I just wanted to be with just have all my kids with one person.
Yes,
And I go, but through
that's one of the reasons that Nigerian women use as well.
exactly, and
Mhm.
I think that's the thing is across the whole Africa board because literally my
Hmm.
parents are Congolese and it's the same thing. And you'd
Yeah.
be why? And she's
Mhm.
always saying, God, I didn't want to be, your daddy was the first man in my life and I didn't want to change any man. I just wanted to be with one person. I go, but you want to have 7 more kids with him? And she
Yeah.
was like, well, yeah. And then you'd be like, why? You know? And then she literally had no reason. But this is the thing, this kind of men, they know who to look for. They
Yeah.
won't come and look for somebody like me because my mouth is big and you will be in trouble. They'll go for somebody like my mom that they're very quiet, they're very settled people. They battle up secrets. They'll keep secrets for years and you will never know. These are the people they aim for. They're not gonna go for a loud mouth person. There is no way they're gonna go for loud mouth person. And until today, my mom, she's 63 now. She never married. She hasn't dated no one. She stayed alone because she's been traumatized for so long
Where's your
that
dad
she
now? Is he alive? Are they together?
now they're both in London, obviously. Of course he's alive. People like that they're always alive. They live for a long time, auntie. They live for a
You are
long
so
time.
right. You are so right.
Okay. They don't
Evil people, evil people live for long. So she finally left him. Your mom finally had the courage to leave.
Auntie, I took her when we used to live like in London, East Ham. I took her for this woman refuge, right? Secretly, because she needed the help. She used to get beat up all the time. We go beat up all the time. Okay. When they get sick and tired of beating up the woman, they'll go to
Mhm.
the children.
Yes.
Okay. And for
Yeah.
us, him beating us up, it was nothing to him. It was absolutely nothing to him. He had no pity. They don't have no love in their heart. They say they love you, but they don't love you. There's no love there. There's
Hmm.
not love there. She tried to search for help many times, and I tried to help her. And somehow they're always smart. They always find out. And when the police one day came in to really get right, he's gonna get arrested. Now we were all happy, like, yeah, he's gonna go. My mom, she changed the story.
Yeah.
She changed the story. And I'm like, why are you changing the story? And she's like,
Yeah.
oh, he brought us in this country, another one that get me in trouble. But you looking at it, you got black eye.
Hmm.
We get
Hmm.
beaten up all the time. We tired of getting beaten up. We sick and tired of it. Why don't you do something? And she couldn't
Hmm.
do anything. She couldn't do anything until it was just this one day. She said it was a prayer, but I don't think it was if it's a prayer, God, thank you. Then again, I also, God fought for us one way or another.
Hmm.
But then I think because the police came and knocked on the door and gave him a warning regarding the situation. So he one day he just came home, he packed up all his stuff and he left.
Hey, answered
You
prayer.
know,
I'm sure you
he
guys celebrated that day.
oh Auntie Boo was happy, like thank God. But behind he left such a traumatic experience through
Yes.
all our siblings. It was like it took years for some of us, I mean, it takes years to come out of it as kids. The
Yes.
thing is, when parents go through that, it's not just their trauma. The trauma also drops to the children. You
Yes.
know, can you
Yes.
imagine? My dad, I was 15, right? And I came to him. I was like, oh, it's my birthday today. When you're fresh in the country, oh, the kids are
Hmm.
celebrating their birthday. You used to, yeah, me too, I'm going to celebrate my birthday. And I went to him, oh, that is my birthday today. He told me I was going to be a prostitute. At 15 years old. You know, I was gonna be he had the negative words, absolutely negative words. I was gonna be predator. So you know, you're standing there like, whoa, what did I say
Your own
like to deserve
father.
that? Yeah, of course. And that stayed in my heart, auntie. It really did. As I grew up, I tried everything not to ever go that particular road, because you have to be very careful with your words as a parent.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely.
you have to be very careful with what is the auntie. This is the guy that prays every 6 o'clock. We all wake up at 5 something. At 6 o'clock, we have to be downstairs praying for 2 hours. This is the guy when he start praying in tongue. It's like they have a gate just opening and he's entering inside their first class.
Church Mongo Pastor,
You know?
Mongo Park. Oh Jesus!
I'm telling you, he made us read Bible 3 times. We know Bible from the beginning to the end, and back to full. We were them children, but you look.
And you are reading that Bible traumatized with the beating and everything, and you are reading Bible on top.
We were traumatized, auntie. We were traumatized, and we go to a point where we're sure God does not exist. Because if He existed, I'm sure by now there'll be fire dropping on His head. You know, some of us have to begin to lose our faith. We're like, no, if He's up there really, and you're seeing this, and this guy is holding your Bible and is lying through his teeth, God, surely go, you can smack him, surely. We were all saying in our heart, but we couldn't say it out loud.
Yeah,
you know, He made us pray 6 o'clock every morning for our mom to die.
Oh my God!
All the kids to pray 6 o'clock for our mom to die. Can you imagine that?
Wow. Was your mom not there when you were doing those prayers?
No, auntie. She has to. You remember, this guy, they don't support you financially. He will not support my mom financially. Him bring us to this country was enough. My mom, she had to get a job. You know, back, when you don't have when you don't have your correct paperwork.
Yes.
You have to work on somebody's, you know how it goes. You work on, you use somebody's whatever. Yes. She was using somebody's whatever to work free cleaning jobs early morning. She leaves the house already. So that early morning, he would take advantage for us to pray for her to die.
Oh
every 6 o'clock in the morning, auntie. And this is the woman, when she gets paid, he demands £100 from that money for his bus ticket. By the way, he's also working. You know, and every single time we'll pray inside our heart, like and he will come close to us, make sure that we pray for her to die.
Can you imagine what that would do to the psyche of a child for a father to ask the children to pray that their mother should not make it alive?
Exactly. Why? So that he can, the benefit money can go to him. You're thinking there's something wrong with you. You're not correct in the head, but you're holding the Bible. You're praying. Oh, she better. But come on, just tie out. It really, really, like when it came to God, I've always clinged on to God because I'm like, surely you must be up there. But most of my siblings, they just gave up. They were like, no, there's no way he's up there. You understand?
It's enough to turn children away from any kind of religion, especially if their father is so abusive and is reading the Bible and making you pray daily.
Oh, auntie,
and he's so wicked in his actions, and everything about him reeks of evil.
Yeah, and then he'll go tell his story to these pastors in the church, and they'll come home, start condemning my mom. But we all watching him, we're like, you're condemning the wrong person. He's the evil one, but you can't say that, because if you say that, you're more likely probably going to see the warning.
Smacked down. Yeah, you get smacked down.
Auntie, it wasn't smacked down. It wasn't smacked down. Auntie, I was pregnant at a young age. I got pregnant at 7, first year in my college. You know why? Because I was just praying. Somebody just get me pregnant, so that you can kick me out at least, auntie. Now I wasn't misbehaving child. I met somebody. I found comfort in the hand of somebody, and this person also knew that there was some abuse going on home. But how, like you're supposed to, sleep with the guy, go 100% through. I couldn't go 100% through. Me, I ran away. But not knowing that, you can still get pregnant. You understand? You can, and that's how I got pregnant. And I didn't even know I got pregnant. You know how I found I got pregnant? I started to feel being funny. So this me coming from college, coming home, because at 6 o'clock, everybody must be home. If he's not home, he will call the house phone. You must pick up, and he needs to hear everybody's voice, right? So that day, I didn't know he was at home. So by 6 o'clock, I'm opening it up, I'm getting in. Auntie, I woke up next day. Next day, I got my clothes and I went to work. I went to college. And how did I woke up next day, right? I opened the door again in the house. All I received was a kick in the tummy, punch in the face, more kicks in the tummy, more punches in the face. So you see, as you open the door, you're not expecting anybody to, I was, with him, it was, you will never know when you're going to get hit. But that kind of beating I received, I had no clue what was happening. All I know, my head was hitting against the wall. He was knocking me out. I was getting all sorts of punches in the face, more knees. The knees on the tummy, kicks on the tummy. So and I had no idea I was pregnant. All that beating just, I peed myself. You know, all I remember me running upstairs, but I don't know how I go upstairs. I don't know whether my mom drugged me, until today I could never remember whether my mom drugged me upstairs or somebody drugged me upstairs. I don't know. I woke up next day. I was wearing the same clothes. It was wet with the pee. I changed the clothes. I put a jumper on and I put a hoodie on, and I just left that house. I went to college like nothing ever happened. And obviously,
it never occurred to you to tell your teachers, to tell your lecturers when you were in college?
No, auntie. What happened is when I got in college, they put my hoodie back. When they put my hoodie back, they saw all the bruising. The ear was out of control. The face, it looked like I got hit by a bus, you know. But my friends knew what was happening. So what they did, there's these college nurses that they take you to. They took me there to get checked out, and I started to feel dizzy and weird. And this, you just have to feel something's wrong, you know. So they got me checked out and everything else. That's how I actually came to find out I was pregnant. I nearly fell off my chair. That's how I came to find out I was pregnant.
Your pastor father now finding out that you are pregnant, you're gonna get double for it now.
I couldn't go home because after, I couldn't go home. And I was like, please, I can't go home because he's gonna kill me, know. But the thing is, he was like, and that night I went home. I had to go home. I had nowhere to go. I went to stand in the phone box. Back in the day, there used to be these phone boxes. I went to stand in the phone box and I was freezing. But I knew I was scared. I couldn't go home because if I go home, there's a good chance he's actually gonna kill me. But somehow they were like, Flag, just go home. You don't need to tell anybody. Just go home. Just pretend everything all right. I went home pretending everything all right, auntie. Now, me, I'm being sickle cell carrier, which again, I had rude awakening with everything else that was going on in my life, right? I started to pass out, I started to feel dizzy. I couldn't stand straight. And then my dad was like, you see that baby in your tummy, yeah? You're pregnant, that baby in your tummy. So I was like, nobody told him I was pregnant. How did you know I was pregnant? And then and he was just looking at me like, and inside my heart, I just knew there is no way. So what happened? I booked myself. I got people to help me. It was basically like, long story short, auntie, I ended up in a hospital with a child that took 2 breaths and then gone, right? It let that traumatic experience, it was like I carried it for years. This is me literally cutting off this story in a half, right?
So the baby didn't make it. Did you carry the baby to full term?
No, auntie, I couldn't carry the baby full term, auntie. I had to get termination. I couldn't carry the baby full term, auntie, because the person that got me pregnant, they didn't want anything to do with the child. They didn't want anything to do with me. For starters, he embarrassed me in front of his friend that I ruined his career, I ruined his football career, blah, 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 blah. Oh, he's young. Me too, I was young.
Yeah. So you're looking for love in the wrong places because there was no love at home.
Exactly, auntie. Exactly. And then a lot of things just happened, and I ended up in a hospital with terminated dead baby, and it's so sad because they say it's a blob. It wasn't a blob. That was like I found out I was 16 weeks gone, and I had no idea. I had no idea that I was that far gone because in the African home, you do not talk about this. It's taboo. You don't talk about anything. It's taboo. So I ended up finding out, and then I saw that kid, and it was a proper baby. It was little, but it was a child. And it took 2 breaths and then passed. And that thing stayed with me. And I remember one of the nurses. In my whole life, I've always had Nigerian people around me. Always. They're always there to keep an eye on me. And I really thank God. And the lady, she came to me, she's like, you know what? You're going to be okay, okay? You're going to be okay. One day, you're going to make it. And I'm looking at her, and I'm like, do you even know the position I am? But she could tell that I was already in a bad place. She knew that I was in a really bad place, but there was not much she could have done. So then I went after that, I went home. And then I just said, you know what? I need to leave the house. I can't be here anymore. And so my mom is looking at like, you're not supposed to leave the house. This is our home.
That was still not enough for your mom to leave.
It wasn't. Auntie, it wasn't. It really wasn't. When I'm telling you, when they get to this stage, even herself, she's traumatized, already damaged to the ground. What strength is she gonna get to leave? She won't get the strength to live, auntie. They don't. They actually don't. They freeze. The brain freeze. Everything got beaten out of you. What else have you got left? You got nothing left. You know? Long story short, auntie, my life went through. God always looked after me. I'm married now. I have 4 kids. Now, on my wedding day, my mom is telling me, oh, you should write, before I get married, my mom was like, oh, you should write a letter to your dad. And I go, writing a letter to say what exactly? What am I supposed to say? Oh, just write a letter, tell him, Daddy, I'm getting married. And I look, you know, sometimes when you listen to your parents, you look at your phone. You look at your phone twice. You be like, is this coming from you? Oh, is it somebody took over? I was like, Mom, if I'm going to call him, okay, what am I going to say? Oh, just telling me, Mom, Daddy, I'm getting married. I go, which dad? I go, what exactly, what positivity did he contribute in my life for me to call him?
She wants you to invite him to come.
Oh, auntie, my sisters and my brother, they were like, if you invite him, we're not coming. And the church was very simple. It was simple. I go, I'd rather have them than having you in there. You know, the church was very simple. You know,
I hope your brothers, if you had brothers, I hope they didn't inherit any of that behavior.
The younger one does.
Yeah, that's it.
The younger one does, and it's almost like this boy's hormone is so high. It's like he's trying to make up for losses. He's trying to make up for, I don't even know, missing man. I don't know. You know, and the sad thing about it, like,
that is one of the dangers. The children usually, you are lucky there's only one of your brothers that inherited it. How many brothers do you have?
There's 2 of them.
Oh, okay. One escaped, the other one inherited it. Yeah, it's certain they have to inherit it because this is all they knew growing up. This is all they knew.
The younger one, you know, he was basically kidnapped by my dad when he was in school. One day my mom went to pick him up from school and he was never there. Then my dad came to pick him up and she never saw his son for 2 years.
After he left the house, he took him for, I think, how many years ago was that? That was like, he took him for about 3 to 4 years. She never seen him.
Yeah. And that boy was the closest to her heart. And he took that. And he took him. And my mom never ever saw her son. And then one day she was going to the church. The train came late. So she just thought, you know what, let's go back home. And she started to go back home. She passed this young man. She passed my little brother and she couldn't recognize him. You know, she passed this young man. And this young man was calling, Mom, Mom, Mom. My mom was just keep walking, like, you know, who was calling me? You know, she turned around, this young man was like, Mom. And so my mom looked at him for a good 5 minutes. She burst down crying. She couldn't even recognize her own son. Because it wasn't the same boy that she raised up. He became a completely different boy. He looked like a homeless man.
Oh, goodness.
He was smelling like a homeless man. So I always say for every woman out there, draw the strength, walk away. And I know it's hard. I know it's socially African. When you leave, especially if they brought you in this country, you left your husband, even though he brought you. It's always a woman that pokes another woman.
Yeah.
It's always a woman that pokes another woman without realizing what she's going for. You don't know. You know? What she's going for, you don't know. Now, our little brother, we're trying to put this boy straight. We're like, that behavior, you need to cut out that behavior. Luckily, you don't hit your wife. But the words that come out of your mouth is disgusting. Your behavior is gross.
Yeah.
You know? But it doesn't matter how much you...
He needs a lot of, you know, therapy, and unfortunately, boys don't like doing therapy. So
no, they don't.
Your dad has done a number on him. He's passed it on to him. He's passed the battle, the mantle. The mantle. He's passed it down.
As much as you were like, I'm not like that, but you know what? You look at him like, dude, your behavior. You call your wife, the one that he's married to now. They're married for less than a year. He called her fat and ugly in the restaurant. And then following week, you're over engaged. I looked at her like, you're stupid.
No.
You know? Because there is no way you're going to call me fat and ugly and then propose to me. I'm going to say yes. You must be mad. And she said yes. And
the girl said yes. After she was publicly called names. She said yes to the proposal.
She said yes to the proposal.
How many? Is this his first or second marriage, or which one? Third?
No, this is actually his first marriage. This is his first marriage.
She's in for a long ride. She needs to go and listen to the stories that your mom has.
She is, and you know the sad thing about it, she had the same character as my mom. I look at both of them, I'm like, oh, good Lord.
Oh, he picked her very well, the same way your dad picked your mom.
That's what I'm saying. They know who to pick, okay? They know who to pick. Then they don't go for loudmouth people. You can't come for me in that behavior. You're joking. They know who to pick. They pick people that are quiet, you know, people that keep secret, people that don't listen. Keeping an eye open. Don't, if anybody that's coming with you, you're quiet person, they're coming with you with this strong character. Really be careful. Really, really be careful. They always have an agenda.
Because you see, your mom, her son being taken away like that. If it was someone like you, you know you're not going to keep quiet for 3 years. You are going to look for your son.
You're joking.
And you will find and fight to take your son back.
Auntie, you will see me in the news. You will hand that boy back. You see me in the news.
Yes.
You know, but she never.
That. Yeah,
you know, she just prayed.
Yeah, she's
just prayed.
You know, no, she has no. Her spirit she's weak. She's been beaten and broken, and so she just let it go. She just let it go.
And because what we went through, we've had that behavior and stuff like that. All of us girls in the family, auntie, we're super strong.
Yeah,
we're super strong.
Because you don't want to put up with what your mom went through. So
absolutely not. We raised up financially. We raise up physically, as in you find us in the gym, karate classes, because you be like, if any man go pack, if you come, auntie, you have to prepare because
you are
auntie,
prepared.
you have to prepare, auntie, because if you see what your mom went through, and she used to have, like back home in Africa, she was, you know, the woman that she used to handle her business, you know. She used to handle her business, but she left everything back to come here and meet her husband, only to find that this husband is a monster that some of us didn't even know he was a monster. We had rude awakening. Back home, we got touched by his siblings. And we came here like, you know what, we're going to tell you after my dad when I see my dad. Only to find out your dad is a bigger monster than his siblings. But then you as a mother, you...
Makes you pray at 6 a.m. You do prayer for 1
auntie.
hour.
1 hour, auntie, 1 hour. Which 1 hour are you talking about, auntie? He will call you for 5 hours. By the 5 hours, you run out of word within a half an hour, you know. But you just stand, I'm telling you, until today he goes to church and he preaches. He's even aiming to become a pastor. Can you imagine? He's aiming to become a pastor.
God is merciful. God is merciful.
So people,
you know auntie.
He's
gonna get his karma. He's gonna get his karma. You know what? With people like your dad, all those Mongo Parks, their old age is usually sad and lonely. By the time he's lying on that bed, I've done stories like that here. We've seen people like that. He'll be crying and looking for you. Because in this country, nobody's going to visit him. All of you are getting married and nobody invites him. He's going to end up alone, cold in this country, in this world.
I made peace with him, okay? Because I always believe, you know what? You could have your bitterness, but as I'm grown now, God gave me, I have my own right, okay? So I make peace with him. I have to make peace with him, auntie. You know why? Yeah. Because I have a good husband, all right? I have a good family. I have a husband that takes care of me, me and the family. Like, we're like his number one priority. Yeah. There is no ifs or buts about that, right? But then I was becoming angry. I was becoming somebody, you know, this anger was just coming out of me for no reason, you know, and I was just getting so angry and I'm treating him like he's my enemy. But my husband wasn't my enemy. Yeah. I had all these loads from my, you know, from when I was young and from my childhood. And he like, it was not fair for me to treat him like that. Absolutely not. Yes. So I was like, you know what? I need to find help. And I was like, you know what, God? I was like, I'm sorry, God. There's therapy that know that I'm going to come to you first. I need some deliverance first of all, okay? I was like, I don't even trust pastors because you know, pastors, the majority of them are dodgy. So I'm not even going there. But I personally need you to do me deliverance because I want what's best for me. Okay? You said you want what's best for us in the Bible. Me too, I chose what's best for me now. I need it. I really need it. You know? And then, so, I went to my journey of searching God and looking for God. And you know what? And one thing I found, I did. My mama was telling me, when you look for God, you'll find him. You know? And I did. And one thing I was like, and I felt like God was telling me, God first, let me be clear. He told me to make peace with my dad. And I go, God. I was like, no, that's the devil's voice. That cannot be you. I started to rebuke the voice. I go, I rebuke that voice. I go, it's not you. I go, God, because if it's you, God, you saw what happened. God, you saw what he did to us. God, you cannot make me go through that road. But you know what, auntie? My only healing road is to face the enemy that does the most damage in your life. And he was the enemy that did the most damage in my life. And sometimes we say, oh, we forgive the person, we forgive. No, we haven't forgiven a person until you meet them face to face. Until you actually deal with them face to face. So me dealing with my dad face to face, that's when I came to find that, you know what? You actually have not forgiven person until you deal with them face to face. But when you meet them face to face, don't expect any sympathy from them. Don't expect them to be, they're never apologetic. Auntie. Auntie, this one he even started to pray over me. You're like, God, I rebuke every demonic spirit from this child that he's trying to pop my temper.
He uses prayer the wrong way. You went to confront him to try to find healing. He started praying over you again. This man can pray.
Auntie, he prayed over me saying that I cancel every demonic spirit that trying to make this child anger me. And I'm like, yeah, I got me angering you. And he said, amen. I was like, I'm not saying amen to that. You're joking.
Did
but regardless, Auntie, he didn't apologize what he done to us. He just apologized overruled. You know that overrule apology? It's just like, oh, we all done wrong. I'm sure we cannot forgive each other.
And people like that will be one of the people that will be saying, all these women, when you bring them from Africa, they'll leave you. But look at the mess he's made of his marriage. Look at what he did to your mom. Just look at what he did to all his children over the years.
The damage, Auntie, the damage is a serious damage. My older brother, he's 45, and this guy, he's only just deciding to get married now.
Of course.
He's been traumatized so bad. Sometimes listening to his story, and his story, he's full of his story from his fiance now. That's when I found out. I never looked at him the same again, and I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah,
we thought he was a wimp, but he wasn't a wimp.
He will get the brunt of it because he's the oldest. Your father is the oldest, responsible for everybody.
Exactly. And until today, he finds a way to beat him down. And now, and obviously, thank God for the wife, the fiance. Now she's a tough one. She's Australian. This one here, you can't mess one with her. She's a bush girl. And they'll find a way to knock him down. And she'll be like, excuse me, you cannot say that. You will not say that. Not under my roof. And I'll be like, God, thank you. Because if it was one of us, he'll be like, oh, I'll curse you. I'll curse up in your life. I will do this. I'll do that. But with her, it's like, yeah, no, this is not flying. This is my husband. And you're not about to say that. He caused severe trauma. Severe trauma, Auntie.
Yeah, it's a lifelong thing. Yeah, when children experience that level of abuse, it's a lifelong healing work that you have to do. And you have to be very intentional about it. You have to be really intentional about it. But if I were you, I will forgive him from a distance. I'm not going to have him in my life. It's just not possible. And please don't have him near your children. Do not have him near your children at all.
Auntie, the first time he met my kids was my sister's wedding, which was in July. That was the first time he saw my children face to face, and he saw my husband face to face.
Yeah.
Because we're like, you know what? This anger and grief is going on for so many years, 11 years, okay? We need to put it to bed. So we done like, let's invite him. Because I didn't invite him at my wedding because I just didn't see anything positivity. But since I started talking to him, I also found that himself, he also went through his own horrific trauma. So my question is always like, okay, you went through horrific trauma. Why would you reflect that trauma into your own kids and your wife?
What do I always say about Africans passing down generational trauma? Can you see now?
Yeah.
Flava's father went through it from his parents. He has handed it over to his children now, his last child. Thankfully that some of you are doing well, you married, and you're trying to get on with your life. And your brother, the last one that you said he's behaving like him now, if he doesn't do the work of healing, he's going to hand it over. That is how
exactly.
You see how generational wealth works. That's how generational trauma works. You can hand it over to the next generation, and it's through your children that you hand it over. So all of you that are listening to this broadcast tonight, thank you very much, everybody. Give us a thumbs up. I deliberately allowed Flava to talk, because I'm going to cut out this part of it and post it again. So it's good to hear from children when they experience this, because a lot of women will stay because of children. You can see what she has said. This is what happened to her and her siblings, because her mother said she was staying for children. So don't say, it's not me. God forbid, it's not me. I reject it. No, don't reject it. It's already happening in your home. if you are in a very, very abusive marriage like this, where your children every day will wake up to Mungo Park like this. He will beat you, he will beat them, he will beat everybody, he will cuss you out, he will say things. Imagine a father saying to the daughter at 15 years old that you're going to end up being an Olosho. Did you ever have therapy, Flava? Or you say you did deliverance by yourself and all that?
No. Oh no, it wasn't by myself. It wasn't by myself.
You went to God. Then you found God by yourself.
I had to, I just followed the direction, the Holy Spirit within you. You have to listen and just follow step by step. And I followed the God's voice step by step. It was hard and it's not easy. Imagine you're meeting up somebody that horrifically ruined you. It is not easy. But when you're within that position, the anger doesn't have place in your life anymore. Like it's almost like God is telling you, you know what, I got you. Just I know I wasn't angry. I was just listening to him, but then later when he started to confess, he also went through trauma, and I felt sorry for him. Instead of me hating him, I actually ended up feeling sorry for him, because you're looking like, okay, now you got 7 kids. They don't want nothing to do with you. My children, they only just came to see him during my sister's wedding. But do I want my kids to go sleep over his house? Absolutely not.
He's gonna do Bible study with them, Flava. It's going to wake them up.
Auntie, no, my husband would never ever allow that. He would never allow it, because my husband, he's been the front.
And people like that don't have boundaries. He can beat your children as well. Let me tell you that he can, if you have the opportunity.
That's the thing. And I'm about to traumatize my kids. I'm not about to put them through that horrific situation, because he'll beat them up and say, "What? Oh, I'm the granddad." Yeah. They always use that. "Oh, I'm your father. Oh, I'm your granddad." Now, you know what I do? My husband will get him arrested. He won't think twice.
Children, that is exactly. This is what you look at these innocent faces. Yeah, this is what they are going through now. It's exactly what you have described now that they are going.
That was us, Auntie. That was us. So when I heard this story, and most of the time you took, and it resonates with me, because especially this woman, you just look at me like, this is what my mom went through, and it got to a point where we actually, like, nobody was calling her anymore, because everybody just became full of anger. They were like, you let us down, you let us down. But when you actually look back and you look at her situation, it's like you feel sorry for her. So you can't cut the communication line with her, because she was also traumatized. She couldn't run away either, because back in the days it was normal. In the culture it's normal, because if your husband beats you up, it's normal for your husband to beat you up. He's your husband. That's why I'm told to them, my daddy still got grudge because he never got the dowry money.
No way. He wants to get dowry.
Auntie, he went to tell his village people.
Yeah, he didn't get dowry.
He didn't get dowry money.
For you and your sisters.
For me, because remember, out of 7 children, I was the first one to get married. I was the first one to get the troublemaker of the family. The big man for the family is the one that God, before you know where you need to go.
The same person said that you're going to turn to Olosho at 15. He wants dowry. What does he need dowry for?
Thank you. That's because people are like, oh, you should give him his right. Now I see that and go, which right is that exactly? Because they were like, oh, he's his right as Africans, their father must take the dowry. Why does he have to? Where does in the Bible say that your father must take the dowry? The only thing that it says in the Bible is the Rachel story. Okay, what happened to Rachel? The dowry, I know we made this culture thing, but until today he chases for that dowry money, Auntie. Now my husband got that dowry money. He can easily release it. But my heart has to be happy. Like, you know what? Get the money. But until today, my heart is not convinced. I'm sorry, but I'm not convinced. You know what? God need to work on me on that part.
No.
If he really belongs to him.
It. No. Forget about it. If I were you, please, you go for kids already. Move on with your life. Use the money to save for college funds for your children.
Thank you. Thank you.
Put it in an ISA for your children and save for their uni and for their first home that they're going to buy in the future. What's dowry? What's dowry? Yeah. He doesn't need no dowry. No.
Oh, he wants the dowry man, and today he complains about the dowry every single time. If he calls me once in a blue moon just to check up on me, he'd be like, some people they even go married, and I was there, and I was the man of honor, and they gave me the money. Inside my heart, I'm like, keep going. But even my own children, I brought them in this country, they have never ever given me dowry money. And inside my heart, I'm also saying, you know what, God, you be the judge of that one, because me, I cannot answer this question. Because you know what?
It's emotional blackmail. Don't fall for it, my darling. Do not fall for it.
They're very smart people, and what I mean, they're sneaky, they're calculating, they always know what to say. And do you understand? They always know what to say. They're very manipulative people, and that's what makes them dangerous. They can get through your brain, they can get in your mind and literally have you on their palm and grip it. If you allow it, you know.
Thank you.
If you allow it.
Thank you so much, Flava. I thoroughly enjoyed talking to you. I've spoken to 2 people tonight who are first-time callers, and they've given me so much joy. Flava, you are assertive, you are bold, you are funny as hell, and you just bring it. Oh my God, I can't talk. The way you talk is so funny. It's like you're telling this story, which is a really sad, a very traumatic story, but you let it with so much humor that we'll laugh and then we'll feel like crying again. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Thank you.
You're welcome, Auntie. And just quick one before you go. Sorry, Auntie, before you go. When you go to church, anybody, if you go to church on Sunday, if you see them daddies, or you call daddy, the one that they sit at the front of the church, the one that they clap their hand like the wood, like you're beating wood. You know when they're beating wood, yeah? It goes clap, clap, clap. Those people, those are the Mango Park. The French free rows, them daddies that sit at the front, majority of them. The one that they clap, hallelujah, those are the ones that you need to look on the corner of the eye. It's you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh my God, Flava is funny. She said, when you go to church on Sunday, those them that sit in the front, the ones that clamp the wood, clap, clap, clap. Please, oh. Flava, don't let them drive me away from church. Some of my church people watch my show. Oh my God. Oh, this live shows are everything. It's how we started out with this story with Harrison and Joy, and we ended up laughing because Flava has just made us laugh. Oh my, Angola. She says she's from Angola. Oh my God. But in as much as we are laughing because she's very, very funny, right? The lessons are not lost. I don't know about you. The lessons are not lost to me. So for all of you women that are saying, hey, I want to have my children in one place, remember Flava. Her name is Flava. Remember her very, very well. She's saying it now in hindsight, okay? But even as she's saying it, you can still hear the pain. You can hear the pain. It's not done yet. And take the learning from it. When you stay in an abusive marriage, you are training your children to be abusers. Shikena.